Hello, Mixed Nut Cases and other listeners. This is Nuke Jess, and I've got another foodie test kitchen, whatever, easy meal. I think it's easy. Also, it's pretty inexpensive. It's tonkatsu. Sounds really fancy. It's Japanese pork chop, basically, or actually it's a Japanese fried cutlet is really the better translation. Now, there's lots of different ways. The traditional way of making tonkatsu is you're going to serve it over cabbage, and you're going to do like this egg thingy on top, and you might serve it over rice and different things, or you might put it in a curry. There's a million different ways that you can do this, but what I'm talking about is just the effort of making these cutlets. So traditionally, you're going to use pork loin, which works great. I have chosen the pork simply because I've been really wanting to talk a little bit about making things that are easy to make and things that are inexpensive to make. And so I have strayed away from some of my other recipes that cost a little bit more this holiday season. And this one, pork tends to be the cheapest meat right now, or at least that's what I've noticed. I go to the grocery stores and pork is cheaper than anything else. So you do not need to be very fancy. You just buy the pork that's available. I do like the pork loin. I actually find that buying pork loin is pretty inexpensive because usually you can get multiple ones for the same amount that you would buy like one meal of pork. So that's awesome. You can also do this with chicken. You can do it with beef. It is completely up to you. So what you want to do is, it's kind of like if you think about schnitzel, where you want to pound it a little bit thin, you want to tenderize and everything. And what you're going to do is very simply, it's going to be dredged in flour, egg, and then the panko. Now, again, panko sounds fancy, doesn't have to be fancy. My favorite way of doing panko is not even buying it already done. I mean, that works. It's fine. But if I've got leftover bread that's starting to go a little stale, or even not, just the heels, my favorite thing to do is grab heels from a loaf of bread, throw that in the blender or food processor or whatever, and boom, you've got panko. And that actually is so tasty. It's even better than the dried, I think. So that's very easy. I like to put some seasoning in the flour because I want a little seasoning to stick to my pork. But that's pretty much it. You're going to smash it. You're going to give a little seasoning. You are going to flour dredge. You're going to egg dredge. And if you can't use egg, there's like other things that you can do. And then, you're going to just put it in your panko, and then you're going to fry it in just a little bit of oil, I do use my cast iron skillet. You can use whatever. And you want to check the doneness on the inside. If it is not done by just that simple frying, you're going to put it in the oven then. So if you, you fry and then you put it in the oven, make sure it's cooked all the way through. And then you can serve it on top of rice. You can serve it on top of vegetables. You can serve it with eggs, or like what I'm going to use for the picture, I put it in a soup, and it was a tonkatsu ramen, and it was absolutely delicious. And trust me, ramen, super cheap. And if you want to make it yourself, super cheap. It's broth, noodles, some veggies if you want. I did some hard-boiled eggs. I sprinkled some sesame seeds on top. These are all things that I just have in my kitchen. If you don't have them, that's okay. Use what's in your kitchen, but really it doesn't take a lot. And there's a lot that you can do with that inexpensive meat, which is pork, that is more than ribs or chops. There's a lot of other things. Now, I know a lot of people are thinking, oh, but isn't this just the same as pork chops? Well, not really. It just, I don't know. It's different. You're going to cut it nice and thin. You're going to have that nice, sweet sauce that you put on top. It's just the tonkatsu sauce is just like a nice little sauce that you can make out of just ingredients that you have in your home. And just, I don't know, it just tastes good and it tastes different. I like it better. I like the panko. I don't know. And even if you're cooking on a budget, you can still feel fancy. And that is pretty great. And like I said, it doesn't cost that much, and you can use the stuff that you've got around. If you're eating bread, save them heels, and there you've got your panko breading. If if you're in the store and you happen to notice pork is cheap, grab some pork. If you happen to notice that chicken's cheap, grab some chicken. Whatever you want to do, it all works out. This is not one of those meals that I've got like a super veggie option. I would make something completely different if I were doing a veggie meal, because this is very meat heavy. There's a lot of meat dishes that you can turn into veggie dishes, but I figure if you're making it a veggie dish, it should be veggie centric, and it should be something that makes you enjoy the vegetables, not vegetables that are pretending to be meat. And I feel like pork is like the last thing you want to pretend to be meat when you're cooking vegetarian. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but give it a try. You can Google tonkatsu, super easy. Do not get stressed. Like when it comes to the actual fried pork, it is season smash, dredge in flour, dredge in egg, dredge in panko, fry. That's it. Doesn't have to be fancy. There's no wrong way to do this. It is a common dish. This is not, you're not going to have the Japanese version of Uncle Roger coming and yelling at you because you did it wrong, or the angry Mulan man coming in yelling at you because you did it wrong, because there is no real way to do it wrong. This is just a home style meal, and you can cook it however you want. I will say, however, if you are serving it over rice, you better wash your rice, because then the angry Mulan man will come after you, and so will Uncle Roger. And they would be right to do so. Wash your rice. But other than that, this is simple. This is easy. Enjoy. The Nutty Bites podcast is produced by Nimlast Studios under the Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives 4.0 International Deed. What this means is you can share it, but you can't change it, you can't make money off it, and you need to link back to me, my site, and everything. We live at nimlast.org. There you can find links to social media, Discord, our Facebook group, Patreon, or you can call us at 347-NUTTY42. We do not consent to having AI scrape, learn from, or repurpose the Nutty Bites podcast.